Hey guys, so after a lot of research earlier today and talking to a couple really nice people on my YouTube comments that gave me tips about starting a red, I cannot say it, red wiggler culture, or really it's a mini compost bin. I decided to go ahead and give it a try. Now, I just have a shoebox size container right now. Gonna look around the house, see if I can't find something bigger that I can repurpose. But for right now, I only have like, see, this is a 40 to 55 count. So I fed a few of the worms. So I probably have, maybe 50-ish worms in here. So this should be good for right now. So anyway, if you've never done a worm bin before, you have to start with bedding. And they need bedding that has a lot of carbon in it and not a lot of nitrogen, if I remember correctly from reading it. So stuff like paper is really important. So I chopped up, I don't have a shredder, but I cut up some newspaper so that they have something to read. And then I put some peat moss in the bottom and eco earth. Now they'll break down this paper. They'll actually eat it and break it down, but since I have a ton of peat and eco earth, I thought I'd just do a mix of it. Now the next thing you want to do is wet it down. So I'm using dechlorinated tap water. I saw one video that suggests you want to use spring water or water low in pH. So we're gonna see if that really has an effect. But you want to get this bedding nice and moist. I might actually put some more paper in here after this is all said and done. Just depends on, how much bedding I actually have, because the eco earth should actually expand with water added, but paper actually kind of shrinks when you add water to it. So just, oops, make a big mess. Make sure you throw a lot of stuff on the floor and on the table and stuff. But just kind of make sure you mix it up and get it nice and wet. And what I read is you want it, if you squeeze it, there should be drops of water coming out and it should form a ball. So you can see this is still too dry. If you ever have done any other kind of worm cultures like white worms or grindle worms, you want it pretty much the same amount of moisture as you would do for those kinds of cultures. So just mix it up. And I've read different things about how deep the bedding should be. One person will say don't make it very deep because you need to get oxygen throughout the soil. Another person says, just fill up the bin as deep as you want. So I'm going to try to go for bedding that's close to, if not at this line, maybe a little bit under it. So this is starting to look pretty good. You see, if I get a handful of it and squeeze it, water comes out and it stays in a ball. So this is probably just about perfect as far as moisture goes. I might actually add a little bit more dry paper and make it a little bit less moist, because there's no drainage holes in the bottom of this container. When I make the more permanent container for them, I will put drainage holes in the bottom and then set that container inside of another container. But right now this will have to do. I think anything is better than them sitting in that little cup waiting to be fed to Susie. Now I'm gonna go wash my hand and then we'll put the worms in there. Okay, so here's the worms. They ate all the fish flakes I fed them last night, again. So we're just gonna dump this into here, and there's all the worms. This is kind of fun. These worms aren't as creepy as like grindle worms and stuff. I don't mind touching grindle worms, but like wax worms and mealworms, I can't touch them because they have those like little feedy type things. At least the mealworms do. But earthworms are fun. Alright, so we got worms. It's gonna focus. And what I'm gonna do is, I think I'm gonna put a little bit more paper on top because it's a little bit on the moist side, I think. And then I'm gonna put some fish food down for right now because I don't have any kitchen scraps available, but I'll start feeding them kitchen scraps and we'll see how they do. I'm gonna, if I can get it, I'm gonna put some air holes in the top of this lid, but these lids also do not sit on very well. So like they don't really lock on at all. That's what happens when you get stuff at the dollar store. But so there's going to be a lot of air able to get through here. So I'll put some more paper on there, and then we're gonna set the guppies up in the tank upstairs. Okay, so we're getting ready to take the guppies up to their new tank. I started by taking their guppy grass out. There's a little bit there, and then I put a little bit in the bucket because I'm gonna put it in the tank upstairs anyways. So what I'm doing now is just lowering the water level so it's easier to net these guys out. You can see there's a whole bunch in there. Oops. And if they get sucked up into the siphon, they just take a ride down. It doesn't really hurt them. So we're going to continue siphoning this out, and then we're going to net out these guys and move them. I am most likely going to leave the assassin snails that are in this tank in here. The assassin snails are laying eggs in here, which is what those little square deals are right there next to the silicone. So I'm gonna leave those in here because it's just easier for me to have them down here. I can throw, you know, ram's horns in as needed, but you can see there's plenty of ram's horn snails in here, so these assassin snails really aren't doing the greatest job culling down this population. So, but I will take this big blue mystery snail out. You can see it's right there by the surface of the water. And maybe I'll even pull out a snail from this tank down here to go along with him. We're also going to catch out, or attempt to catch out, the plecos that are in the 55 gallon because I want to try to breed them, and they're not going to breed in that tank with the patota. They really need either their own tank or they need to go in with the guppies. So hopefully being in there with the guppies they'll be able to breed, and I'm going to give them a couple of caves and stuff, and we'll see if we can't get them breeding. So I've got the water level. I've got about a gallon in there, maybe a little over a gallon. So now we can start netting them out. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Oh, sorry about my finger. If you notice, I'm wearing gloves, and I try to always wear gloves when I'm dealing with the fish. It's just a good practice, but anytime I have a cut on my hand, especially, I make sure to wear gloves, and I cut my hand earlier today, so we're just going to take them out, dump them in. And then go back for another scoop. Oh, sorry, I guess I should look where the camera's facing. I'm trying to not take the duckweed with me, so what I'll do is skim the duckweed off before I take the bucket upstairs. So I'm gonna keep doing this, and then we'll go upstairs and get everybody acclimated. Okay, it's a bit cloudy, but they're in there. Grandma is in this bucket. She's gonna go downstairs into the 55, and hopefully she plays nice. She's been alone for a while, so hoping that she'll be nice to her kids and not fight. If there's a problem, I will put her in her own 10-gallon. So but everybody seems to be doing good. The snail's already out and looking around. The two males seem a little bit stressed. I'm gonna hit this tank with a dose of prime and fill the water level up higher, and hopefully they'll be okay. I planted a few valves, and that big brown mass in the middle is the roots and a few leaves of what was once a huge African water fern that took up this entire tank. I bought it used from someone, not used. I bought it from someone who was taking down their fish room, and I was getting beanies, and I got my air pump from him, and he offered me this big giant plant for super cheap, so I took it. Well, sadly it hasn't done well in this tank, and pretty much all that's left are a few stalks with leaves on it, and then this giant root mass. But I'm gonna leave it in here a little while longer. I'm hoping in another month or two I can afford to upgrade this light to like a higher wattage LED light or something that's gonna give enough light so that these plants way down here can grow easily. As you can see, guppy grass. The guppy grass does pretty good in this tank because it's close to the light. Probably gonna take the mushroom house out and either put it in this tank or put it in another tank if I set up another patodi pair, which I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do, but I just left it in for now. So we'll check back in on this tank when it clears up and see how everybody's doing. I'm sure they're gonna be happy for the upgrade. This tank is about 26 gallons, and they were in a 10-gallon, so it's a pretty significant upgrade for them. So right now they're not much to look at. I'm hoping the strain will start to look better. I'm already getting babies with some black on them, like this guy. So that's really good. I'm hoping they're gonna end up looking more like the males with each generation. So also put one of my purple mystery snails in here, in the hopes that once he's big enough or she's big enough, maybe these two will make more mystery snails. We'll see. I'm no good at sexing mystery snails, so I just put two together and see if they make eggs. For right now, this one's too small. But the purple should look really good in this tank. So, alright. Been trying to do this for, what, a week now? 2 weeks? Finally got it done. If the plants grow in well, it's gonna look pretty nice once it's, you know, not cloudy and, you know, maybe I clean up the bottom a little bit. There's lots of mulm in the bottom. But, I mean, you can barely see the baby fry, which is good. That means a lot of them will be able to survive. I'm getting a lot of them, or I had a lot of them surviving in the 10-gallon, but, you know, I think I could have even more in this style setup because they can hide in that giant root mass from the bulbitis, and then they have the guppy grass, and then just the black background and black sand in and of itself makes it harder for the fry to be seen and possibly eaten. So this is going to be a really fun tank to look at. I do have a space over there. I could possibly put another tank. Something to consider down the road. Right now, no plans for anything like that. Okay, well, I have to get her downstairs, and then we'll see what else we want to get into. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and grab these guys out too and do a water change. That's gonna be fun. I'm gonna have to take pretty much all of the grass out to get the fry. And I need to take a bunch of these snails out too, because there's just way too many in this tank. Still not sure if this boy is holding or not. It doesn't want to focus on him. Maybe if I move the light. Oh, the light doesn't want to be moved. There we go, that focuses a little bit better. Still not sure if he's holding. I think probably not. But he is kind of being lazy. So we'll see. You can see his cheeks are nice and bright. Female's nice and fat. So maybe we'll get some babies. Well, that's probably going to be it for today. I'm going to go futz around in the fish room some more, and I'll take these guys out and put them in a tank downstairs and all that, but I'll show that tomorrow. Might change my mind and just decide to be lazy for the rest of the day. So, that's all. Oh, besides, so, by unanimous vote, not only on YouTube, but on my Facebook page, this guy's name is Winston. Nobody liked Angus, which I'm surprised at, because I like Angus. I think it's an awesome name. But that's okay. I'll name someone else Angus. I guess I don't have enough classic rock fans on my friends list and on my YouTube, but this guy is going to be Winston Churchill, and I'm going to call him Winston. Kind of chilling out right now. About to do a water change for him, which I said I was going to do the day he got here, and I didn't. So, plants are still, I mean, you can really see. I might just document every day. We don't have very many days left for the vlog challenge, but in the remaining days we do have, I might document like how tall these are growing. I wonder if I have a dry erase marker in here that I can use. I'm gonna mark on the front where the tops of these leaves are, which, you know, of course is not gonna be quite. Now you have to look at it from my angle, but so we'll see tomorrow where these guys are at, and I'll update. But they're growing insanely fast. It's kind of funny because I've only had low light, slow growing plants for so long, besides guppy grass, which you can't really measure. I haven't done a really nice planted tank in like 2 years now, so it's just kind of fun and interesting to me, like how fast these plants are growing in this tank. You can see this guy sprouting. This guy's starting to sprout. I'm probably going to move them so they're not all bunched up here. In fact, let me grab my tweezers and we'll do that right now. Okay, let's move these guys. I'm going to put this guy right here. I'm going to move this guy right there, and then this guy we'll put in the middle. That way they're kind of spaced apart. This one has not started sprouting yet, but we'll see if it does. The last time I bought these, which admittedly was like almost 10 years ago or something crazy like that, I only got 2 to sprout, and I remember that because I had a divided tank. It was divided in half and I had one on either side. So we'll see if that happens again, where I only get 2 to sprout. As I said, I took off one of the lights just to see if it made him more active, and he is kind of more active, but I'm not sure if that's the light or if he's just settling in more. So we'll leave it like this for a while, as long as the plants continue to grow well. You know, I don't need to have 2 lights on here. I'm not carpeting anything right now. Maybe in the future I'll buy some dwarf baby tears or hair grass or something and make a carpet. I've never done that before, so that would be interesting to try. But for right now, as long as the plants are growing, that's what I want. So, alright, thanks for watching. Thanks for everyone who voted on Winston's name. Help me make a decision. He really does look just like Winston Churchill in the face. It's kind of funny. So, alright, I'll talk at you guys tomorrow.